everybody, welcome back to another weekend lesson. Like I said, we're going to be rocking these weekend lessons probably Sunday. It seems like Sunday is a good day. You guys seem to dig them on Sundays. If you would like the tabs, you can check those out down below. I have them linked for you. You can also check out my free guitar course if you are feeling like it. It's linked there as well. So the concept of today's lesson is kind of getting away from your standard good old cowboy chords. I would consider today's lesson to be kind of intermediate. The more theory of your actual scale and notes and stuff like that and the way notes stack to make chords, the better for this type of lesson. But we're just going to break it down with some simple things that really, was really eye-opening for me and got me away from playing the traditional chords all the time and really expanding with how I was kind of moving through all these different chord shapes, but it gives the different voicings and all these different things, and it's really, really rewarding. So we're just going to jump into this one, and we're going to start right here with an A major chord. So this is where we're going to build everything off of this single chord idea. So if you've not played an A major chord like this before, well, this is already going to be great. So this is a really good way to do it. It's essentially our F chord shape. I keep looking, I got black marks on my finger from the 335 and I wiped it all over my face, so hopefully that wasn't all over the last video. So anyways, so we have this chord. Now this is an F chord shape. If you can do your F major chord, it's essentially that shape moved up here to just having an A note in your bass. So I'm going 5 on the D, I'm sorry, 7 on the D, 6 on the G, 5 on the B, and 5 on the high string. You don't have to play the high string if you don't want to. That is simply I know it's another A note, so it's a repeating note. Essentially, though, we need these three. So this is a basic triad. I've done videos on triads. They're a hugely eye-opening thing. But basically, this is our chord. Now, we're going to root everything off of this A note right here. I'm going to show you how you can really expand and change and get out of playing chords like this. So that'd be like A major to A sus2. Well, I could do that here if I want like this. And you probably think, well, what's the advantage? Well, if you listen to it, they sound different. And I'm in a new area of the neck. So down here, you're kind of stuck. You can't really go backwards. Where do you go from 0? You can't. So here I have more options. So hopefully you can already see how it's like, oh, okay, this is opening up a lot of possibilities already. So let's break down exactly what's happening right there. Like I said, the more chordal knowledge you have, the better that it's just going to help you in everything. So if you have an A major chord and you want to go to an A sus2, which is what I did. I went A major to A suspended second. What you need to do is you essentially need to remove your third and you are going to replace it with a second. So instead of having your root, major third, and fifth, like a normal major chord, you're going to have your root, your second, and your fifth. So our third out of this A major chord goes root, third, fifth. So this is our note. Now what I have to do is I'm going to replace that note with our second out of A major, which would be right here. So this would be major third, minor third, second. So I have to kind of adopt a new chord shape.
Sorry to interrupt you.
It's okay. So you're going to be playing 7 on the D, 4 on the G, and then 5 on the B. So now I'm adding that open A string because you know what? An A note will never sound bad in an A chord. And that just adds a lot of depth to it. But essentially, that's our chord now. Now, a cool little move you could do here is just take your ring finger and put it back down on the actual, what was that, 6? Yeah, 6. Boom, major, sus2. And already that starts sounding kind of cool. Okay, so boom, right there, we already have a lot more, options. Because now we're more in the middle of the fingerboard. I like to be in the middle because then I have a lot of ground I can move back to or move forward to. So we have that one. Now let's say that we didn't want to go to a sus2 chord, we wanted to go to a sus4 chord. Now I'm not really talking so much in this lesson about how to use these chords you know, putting both of these together would be a huge lesson. I'm going to do another video on that a little bit later. Today, you know, we're just trying to get these chords under our fingers. So let's understand what a sus4 chord is. Now, a sus4 chord works very similar to a sus2 in the sense that you have your major chord and you are replacing the third with now your 4. So we have our root, third, fifth. Well, our 4 is right here. Right there. Okay? Boom. Now we have a sus4 chord. And all I did was I'm playing 7 on the D, 7 on the G, and then 5 on the B. Okay? Ooh, look. Boom, right there. A sus4 to A major, A sus2 to A major. A really nice sounding chord progression now is happening. It's very similar to, like, you know, what happens in Free Fallin'. You know, that's a D to a D sus4 to an A sus4. But so already now we've expanded our knowledge quite a bit. Before, if you would have played these chords in kind of like the Cowboy style, you would have been doing A major, A major, A sus2, A sus4, if you wanted to, which sounds great. But like I said, I like to do a lot of kind of, I guess essentially like the Hendrix style of kind of you have a chord. You know, where he's kind of ad-libbing a lot of stuff over top of it. And it's hard to do that with just the Cowboy chord. So here we have a lot more variety to this. Now, so far we have stuck with 3-note chords, and you could, of course, quickly turn this into a minor chord if you wanted to. All you need to do is replace your major third of the chord with your minor third. Okay, here's your major third. That's your minor third right there. So I'm going to go 7, 5, 5. Boom. Okay? There's our good old minor chord right there, and we can do a lot. We're gonna do a lot more minors here in a second. I'm actually gonna do a couple more major chords here while we're on this, and then we'll do some minor chords as well. But I just want to show you how quickly you could do your minor chord. Just only those two. If there's anything you take away from this lesson, just know those two major and minor shapes. They're literally like life-changing. You'll use them all over the place. And all over the place. Like I said, you get caught up in it quick. But anyways, like I said, we'll come back to minors here in a second. Just didn't want you to think that we weren't going to hit them. So, like I said, we've done 3-note chords so far. I'm going to hit you with a couple of 4-note chords. So, one of them being one of my favorites, which is, of course, a major 7. That, you know, you're going to run into a lot. Typical major 7. Down here. Or it depends, I guess, how you want to do it. Or if you want to do the jazz style, here it is. And essentially, I'm going to be doing it like this. So we're going to go 7 on the D, to 6 on the G, to 5 on the B, and then 4 on the high E string. Root, 3rd, 5th, major 7. I actually learned this chord from Eddie Van Halen from his Spanish Fly. He hits it right there, just for like a minute. I always thought it was cool. It was like almost chromatic looking. But so that's essentially what a major 7 chord is. It's just you have your root, 3rd, 5th, and your major 7. So having this kind of like numerical value to all this stuff helps because you can construct chords anywhere. Eric Johnson was a huge light bulb moment for me when I was trying to figure out what he was doing, and then it hit me that he was just doing a basic like C major chord. And I was like, whoa, that's really like interesting because he, you know, it's Eric Johnson. He has it like in these crazy voicings and all this stuff. And I'm like, he's really just doing like a basic major chord. That's really interesting. And I started messing around with stuff a lot more, and lots and lots of light bulb moments came from that. Now, another chord I want to show you that I like to do a lot, and you notice they're all in this one position. We haven't even shifted anywhere. We're just in one spot. So far, we've done major, suspended 2nd, suspended 4. Minor, major 7. Now, another one I like to do a lot is called an add 9 arpeggio, or chord, I should say. And essentially what you do with an add 9 is you do exactly what, I like it because the chord tells you what to do. You add the 9. And a good way to look at the numbering system, at least this is what has always worked for me, you know, everyone's going to be different, is at 7, you know, I guess at 8, everything is starting over. So you only have 7 notes of your major scale. So once you get to 8, that is essentially your 1 again. 9 is going to be your 2, and it just keeps going back like that. So, like I said, you have your 7 notes, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it just keeps going like that. So when I hear add 9, I quickly know that it's just the same thing as my 2. I don't know why my brain works that way, but I just kind of revert everything back to those original 7 notes. And I'm like, okay, so out of the key of A, I need to add a B note somewhere. That is my 2, which is also my 9. The 9 is just an octave of the 2. So what I do is I go like this. So you have your basic major chord, 7, 6, 5, and then you're gonna go to 7 on the high E string. A really, really like sweet sounding chord to move around. I'm giving away all my chord secrets. You're gonna hear me do all these chords now, and you're like, "Boo! It's not impressive." But it's very fun and very musical. So I do this a lot, even when I'm playing like leads and stuff. I utilize your add 9s a lot. Now, another cool one you can do, which this one's a little bit trickier to do, is what's called a major 9. Now, this one is a tough one. So this is actually, I'll leave the majors off like this. This is a 5-note chord, so you're gonna have root, 3rd, 5th, major 7, and then your 2 in there. So I play it like this, but I'm just doing like this to keep it in this general area. There's other ways you can obviously play this chord, but I'm just using my thumb to play 7 on the D, 7 on the low E, 7 on the D, 6, 5, 4. So you have that basic major 7 chord that we did before, and then I'm just adding the B note onto it. So, and it's a really cool sounding chord. Again, it's one I use more to arpeggiate. But it still covers a lot of ground for you. And then I thought I would hit you with a couple of minor and then a diminished sounding arpeggio as well. So we already covered the basic minor shape. And for example, a chord I reference a lot, especially in pentatonics, because it's a very convenient chord, because the chord has 4 notes, and it has 4 of the 5 notes of the pentatonic scale in it. So if we did a minor 7 chord, it works the same way as a major 7 as far as the actual construction of it. You have your 3 basic notes, your root, your minor 3rd, and your 5th, and then you're going to add your minor 7 to the mix. So we already did, kind of disclose that the chord is this. Okay? So I could just go like this. Boom. That's a minor 7. Right there. Just holding on those 3 frets. So that, what am I thinking here? 5 on the D, G, and B. Now the secret to it is that it sounds like a C major. I need to add that A note in there to make it sound like a minor 7. So I would either need to add the A note there or right there. That's gonna make it sound like that minor 7. Okay? And then I'll leave off with this one. Like I said, this is just a diminished chord. And if you don't know what a diminished chord is, you can have your root, and then you have a flat 3rd and a flat 5th. So that just means you're moving these 2 to that. Okay? So that's going to be 7, 5, 4. It's so dark and menacing sound. So there is the lesson, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. Like I said, to me, a huge step of understanding how the chords work is just getting the shapes under your fingers, and then you can kind of diagnose them and figure out, oh, this is why this is happening, and all these different things are kind of like coming together, and just getting out of those standard root position chords, I think are really helpful. And then you can, like this shape, all the shapes we did were based off of a root note. So you could easily transpose any of them to any key. So like if you're like, oh, I don't play in the key of A very much, I play in the key of D. And I'll be like, you know what? Just move them up. and you, so start on a D note, boom, D sus2, D major, D sus4, D major 7, D add 9. Maybe you're kind of more of that, I can't do it here, but I could just do this. Maybe a major 9 is what you want, you know? But there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Another weekend lesson for you. Actually, get the tabs, and yo, I'll be seeing you back on Monday. Bye, guys. Whoop!